Charl Bassil is the marketing director at Pernod Ricard, with us today to talk about something called the 3 dimensions in delivering customer-centric growth. It's important for big brands and for marketers as well. Before we talk about the findings, you participated in a study called Insights2020. I think this was driven by the global MillwardBrown agency. What did it set out to achieve?
Well, MillwardBrown Vermeer did a study with 325 businesses across 60 countries, 10,000 surveys, to understand whether or not customer centricity had an impact on the bottom line. And what they found was overwhelmingly that this was the case, that understanding customers and working with customers to drive that centricity within the organization led to overperformance in the whole.
Charl, what is your understanding then of that centricity side of the component? What does that mean?
Well, 3 elements that came out of the study. One of them being that purpose-led and consistent, customized communication being at the core. So really about understanding what is that consumers want and giving them what they want in a way that's consistent at different touch points, and customizing that experience through data and understanding of the consumer. MillwardBrown call that the total experience. We understand that the same thing. So that would be one element. Another element would be around insights and analytics and the leadership role that insights and analytics people play in an organization, but also around how we use that information and sort of connect it together. And then last but not least is whether or not consumer centricity is at the core of the organization. So, is it a leadership priority? Has it been embraced by everyone? Does it form a big part of the way the organization talks to one another? And have we actually embraced consumers as partners in developing our products and our messages?
To the second point about the data, which has become more and more critical in the marketing function, the problem is that there is so much data, and the difficulty is dealing with what is important and then interpreting what is important. How have you done that?
Yeah, so there's actually an interesting word that I learned while going through this study, which is infobesity, which I quite like, because people often talk about big data, but I'm sure like you feel, big data is useless to us unless we treat it smartly. And the big insight, funny enough, that came out of the study was it's all about the human truths and not about the data. It's not about the technology. I think MillwardBrown was seeking to find out whether or not technology has changed the way we interact with consumers, but really it's about understanding consumers, or what they call customers, in a way that has a human truth. So the big insight was, do you have the people who have whole brain thinking? The kind of people who can use the left brain to analyze data, to sift through the information, to connect social media to customer studies, to research, and then to tell a story using the right brain, to bring that creativity and storytelling that really connects with people in an emotional way.
Where do you find these people?
I actually went onto my knees, literally, this is a true story. Bridget Dorr works for us, and she's our head of consumer insights. She was a consultant that had worked across a number of different industries, ex-UCT, worked with the UCT Unilever Institute, and she did a small project for us. And I just thought, this woman understands insights and analytics. She understands consumers in a way that's not just with the head, but with the heart as well. And I literally went on my knees. I begged her to join the company. And she's been a major part of the organization for the last 2 years and driving that culture of putting the consumer at the center of everything that we do.
Internally as well, the point that you make about being a customer-obsessed organization, how do you inculcate that culture within your staff? So
what the study calls customers, we call consumers, the users of our products, the consumers at the end of the day. We are a consumer-obsessed organization globally, and locally the way that we drive that is through a purpose, which is around our purpose being about being creators of conviviality. So we say that Pernod Ricard is not just a purveyor of alcoholic products, but really what we do is we want to connect with consumers and give them convivial moments. We believe ourselves to be authentic in our brands and in our people, and that culture needs to pervade everything that we do. And so when we connect with consumers, when we spend time with them in bars and taverns and nightclubs and restaurants, we truly want to understand who they are, so that we can give them services, not just the products, but the experiences that connect with them.
But just very quickly, it's a screw that turns all the time. The landscape is forever changing.
It's shifting sands.
Yeah. Can you ever get a handle on it?
You can never get a handle on it. You can get a handle on it today, and tomorrow you better start doing it again, and the next day, and the next day. It's a way of life rather than a point-in-time study, to be honest with you.
Charl Bassil, thank you very much.
Thank you.